This week on SailAway, we're still here in beautiful, epic, mesmerizing, historic San Juan. And we can't get enough of this place. We checked in.
Yeah.
If you don't check in, then they sink you with a cannon. While we're here, we show you three primary facets of cruising: fixes, failures, and celebrations. We start with a brand new improvement and also finish up a project we started 6 months ago. It's also 4th of July, and a historic naval ship moves in next door to help us celebrate. That is the USS New York. Oh, come on, dude.
Get your toe? We decorated.
Yeah, decorated with our ship out here. And PR confirms once again it knows how to party. But we also have a birthday to celebrate. Today, I'm going to get out and try to foil again. And I get to try out my brand new present, which leads to a failure.
Mine died.
Happy birthday to me.
We made it.
Do Rivers and I have a gig? If not, why does he have his kazoo on? But another dead engine doesn't keep us down long. We've got brand new friends to celebrate with.
Ever wish you could escape normal life and experience more of the world?
So meet me on that island. Well, we did just that. We sold everything we owned on dry land and sailed away. Promise me that we'll sail away.
Now we are roaming the planet in search of new adventures and sharing it with you every week.
Just promise me that we'll sail away. So hit subscribe and escape normal with us. And I'll be yours forevermore. Come on, it's just that little button down there. That's it. We've been detained here in San Juan for a few weeks now, and it's a really easy city to get attached to.
You getting the daily news? How's the stock markets doing?
The charm of Old San Juan alone is mesmerizing enough to get its hooks in you and not let go. And we've spent as much time as we could just wandering the streets and getting to know this historic and beautiful old city. We came right in there, Rivers. That's our route back out to the ocean.
Really? Good thing we weren't when this was.
So, yeah, get fired upon.
Yeah, they let us in.
Yeah.
Why?
We checked in.
Yeah.
If you don't check in, then they sink you with a cannon. El Morro is one of the most popular tourist attractions here for good reason. It's vast, well-restored, has a really interesting history, and amazing views. This is the main firing battery. This is where most of the cannons were.
That sure is a fast carrier ship.
Yeah, look at the size of the bow wave. But it's not all about sightseeing. In a place where deliveries from the US are fast and cheap, that means it's project time.
What are you doing today?
Oh, you know, just your typical Sunday afternoon type of project. Doing a little flooring, much like you might be doing. Hey man, I got that set. Way back on all of our to-do lists has always been doing some kind of new flooring, especially for the sterns, because they're just so beat up. In our heads, you know, we always wanted to do the really good stuff. Plasdeck or FlexiTeak or something like that. I got to thinking about it, and the EVA stuff, it looks pretty darn nice. So I got to looking on Amazon, of course, and other places and sort of researching it. Its biggest benefit is it's so cheap. Its biggest detractor is, depending on the situation, it doesn't last all that long. It's definitely nowhere near like FlexiTeak or some of the really good brands. But it's so inexpensive that we decided to go ahead and give it a try. And we're sitting here in San Juan where we can get stuff really quick and easy and cheap off Amazon. And so flooring wound up in our cart. So here I am cutting foam and getting ready to lay it down. There you go. Pretty soon we'll have some pretty new faux teak EVA flooring. Another big advantage of this stuff is, man, it's like crazy easy to work with. Cuts like nothing. This stuff's got just a peel away adhesive back. You know, it's off of Amazon, and most of them say 3M backing. I don't know. It's probably not. Most of the reviews said it worked really well. One detail that I think is a good idea is to round the corners, almost all corners. Partially because it just makes it look a little more finished, and also it's less of an edge for a shoe or anything to grab onto, pick it up. There we go. There's one of the finished ones. And you know, it's probably not necessary, but it just looks nice. Alright, we're getting real close. We're on the last little prep detail. And that is alcohol. I'm just using straight up isopropyl alcohol just to clean the surface as much as possible. This stuff is super easy to put down, and it's a lot like laying down adhesive vinyl, but easier. So this one goes right here. Basically, I'm just going to peel up one little edge here, just so we have something to tack down. I'll just tack down that part right there. Then we have this handy dandy tool for about 10 bucks on Amazon. We bought 3. I'm not sure how I did that, but I did. But it's just a nice, easy way. Yeah, maybe that's why I need 3, because they fall apart. I guess I'm glad I accidentally bought more than one. The little pin fell out somewhere. Anyway, it's just a roller. There's nothing crazy about it, but it helps you make sure that you have pressed down every little square millimeter of that pressure-sensitive adhesive on the back. Pretty damn sweet, huh? Alright, well, I got 2 more steps here, and then 2 pieces there. Whew. And there we are. Completely adhered, rolled. Fits really, really nice. Zeke, you can lay on it now if you want. There you go, lay down. Good boy, what a good model. I'm really psyched. Yeah, we live here, and I want every moment that we live here to be as enjoyable as possible. And for me, having a nice looking boat is enjoyable. It's gonna look like a brand new boat from the back. There you go, now you're properly modeling it. Good job, good job. It's definitely some kind of something.
It's definitely something, some kind of.
New visitor in the neighborhood. It's a funky looking boat. I've never seen one like it. And it's quite big. Man, my money says it's going right there. There's just a lot of people milling around over here. It looks very military, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We have to be on our best behavior.
Yeah, be cool, man. Be
No
cool.
more Rivers peeing off the side.
Yeah, you don't think Rivers could dangle it off the stern?
You too.
Yeah, I'm pretty good about it.
Holy. What even is it?
I'm glad we're not anchored where a few boats have been. There's been boats behind us quite a bit. I waved. Nobody waved back. Well, it took pretty much all of our very casual and chill breakfast time for them to get this thing docked. And in the meantime, we looked it up. That is the USS New York. Oh, come on, dude. That's the USS New York. It's got ospreys sitting up on the back. Nobody's come out with a gun and told us to vacate the anchorage, so I guess we're all right.
Projects continue.
Yeah. So we're gonna make a Dodger, finally. We've had all the stuff for the Dodger since we bought everything for the rest of the cockpit awning. And just because of everything that was happening and all the timeline crunches, we just couldn't get to that part. Yeah, protection at anchor and protection at sea. And they're pretty simple construction. Trim all the way around, zippers on 3 sides, and this bolt at the bottom, which slides into this track. And this will be screwed down right across the front here. It's going to have a fairly gentle slope. It's not going to be a big long one. Doing a Dodger on a boat like this, I'm sure we'll have our problems, but it's very straightforward. Not like on a monohull where you've got a ton of curves and a lot of ridges and things to work around. On this boat, it's pretty straight. They're not quite rectangles, but they're not far from it. So, is there anything else you'd like me to say?
Nope, I think you covered it in 7 minutes.
You're welcome.
In the short time we've owned this boat, we've put almost 3,500 miles on her, and many of those miles have been very wet.
This is the bottom edge. So we've got our bolt visible there, and then our piece of trim on the other side. And there will be the zippers on both ends and across the top.
So this one upgrade will be life-changing on passages.
It's 4th of July.
Yeah, can't you tell? We decorated.
Yeah, decorated with our ship out here.
Our follow ship.
And we learned more about that ship.
They used steel from the World Trade Centers. That's why it's called the USS New York. And the 2 posts, or whatever you would call
Big
them,
columns or whatever.
are supposed to symbolize the World Trade Center.
Yeah, the Twin Towers. And that's funny because when it was showing up, I'm like, what on earth are those big towers for? What could those be?
Yeah.
Turns out they're just a monument, basically.
Right.
So yeah, like most Americans on the 4th of July, we're day drinking a little bit and doing housework. We're coming right along. We got some fun things to go do for 4th of July over at the Distrito T-Mobile Center. And then, I guess tomorrow probably, take this sucker off one more time. And that's not, it sucks. Yeah, it does. And I just need a little bit of hardware to attach the track down to the cabin top, and we'll be mostly done. So, good progress. In the course of about 2 days, we should have it all done. Ready to party at the Distrito T-Mobile? What we mean by party is find a place for Rivers to play with kids while we drink a couple medallas.
Yeah, that's what. Party!
Okay.
If there's one thing we've figured out in our travels to Puerto Rico, it's that Puerto Rico and its citizens know how to have a good time and how to put on a show. And the brand new, as of our last visit, Distrito T-Mobile is the perfect venue for something like this. It's where they do Puerto Rico's portion of Ryan Seacrest's New Year's Rockin' Eve. On any given evening, we could find bands, DJs, dancing, tons of kids running around playing, and of course, tons of drink and food options. But on the 4th of July, they took it up a few notches. Guess what? This guy managed to not die for one more year.
So, uplifting.
You know, when you're my age, that's just, that's how you look at it. I'm still alive. It's my birthday, in case you hadn't caught on. Speaking of birthday presents, moving on to that facet of the birthday, I got an amazing birthday / Father's Day present. This is my birthday present. This is the Zeddy Airship foil board. And this is a small company up in Washington State. If you guys remember, we lost our foil board, and we lost it almost a year ago, exactly. It just ripped it right off the side of our boat in the middle of a rough stretch between St. Vincent and Carriacou. But we've not had a chance to replace it since. They're very expensive, and that's just a tough thing to prioritize when you've got all these other items going on. But this Zeddy brand, again, is a very small upstart company. Their boards are very reasonable. I've been talking to them since winter, and finally, while we were here in San Juan, was able to get one ordered off of these guys. I'm really excited. We went with an inflatable board this time, which really makes sense. As nice as our last board was, it was huge, and it took a lot of abuse because it was so big and heavy and kind of hard to get on and off the boat without scratching it up. Folds up in a nice, compact, flat rectangle. Today, I'm going to get out and try to foil again. I think I'm better off to start off with a foil board behind the dinghy. So that's the plan. I'm going to see if I can get up on this much smaller board than what we're used to, but also a lot lighter. So I'm excited to see how it feels and see if I can do it one thing at a time. Foil first, then wing and foil will follow pretty soon after.
Raise a glass, you've made it another year. Happy birthday. Have a laugh, crack a smile, even shed a tear.
So, first thoughts. After a year of not foiling at all, I was blown away by how easy it was to get up on this board. So much easier than our big, solid Cabrina board.
Now we celebrate with cheers. Raise your glass to
And once up, it was very nimble and easy to control. Can't wait to try it with the wing.
happy birthday.
It was so easy, in fact, that getting up on my knees was effortless. Meaning for the first time, I had no concerns about riding Rivers on the front with me. He had a blast.
Tea, cream and sugar, is it time?
Sorry, it did something weird. It just like depowered real fast.
But a failed outboard interrupted our good time.
Mine died.
And it was a good 20-minute high-effort upwind paddle to get back to the boat.
Happy birthday to me.
You made it.
Yeah, foiling's a little workout. Goddamn motor. Alright.
Alright, let's
Beer 30.
definitely.
Well, if I wanted to get exercise on my birthday, I did. Got to start up one more time for a few seconds, and then nothing. I'm so frustrated with it because I like 4 strokes. I know the 2 strokes are easier to work on. 4 strokes run so much smoother. They're so much quieter. So I really kind of wanted to be back using that one, but we're at the point now where we're gonna switch back to this motor, and I'll tell you, I am so happy to have it. That Yamaha 25 is a killer motor, and it runs pretty good. So we're gonna swap that back out, and then first chance we get, we'll try to have somebody look at this Suzuki and hopefully finally figure out what's wrong with it, because the guys in Charleston at whatever that place was, I'll put it on the screen,
they were kind of not my favorite. They said it was just because the water pump needed replaced, and that was all. It just wasn't getting enough water to some part of the motor. Clearly that's not the problem. So they basically did nothing to it other than basic service items, and that took them 3 months or something, right up to the point where we had to like tell them we were leaving and we had to get the motor back. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with it, and I don't know what else to try. I want to have somebody else take a look and see what they can figure out. And if you're wondering what all the racket is, we are still using our little gas-powered generator whenever we make water, which works great. We run it for about 2 hours and get about 75 gallons out of it. It's been working awesome.
Raise your glass to another year.
Almost ready. So bored. This has been an intricate project. No surprise. Everything is more complicated than it seems like it's going to be, always. But we've got 4 out of the 5 panels done, and this is the last piece. But those little end pieces are complicated. As you can see, those slide in, and they've got a little access hole to go over the sheets for when at anchor or on the lazy sheet side while under sail. And it was so accommodating today. It's been raining on us all day, and so we've been able to test it out, and it's kind of amazing. This is something that I've dreamed of since we bought this boat. We were able to just sit here and watch it rain and not get wet, and it poured. Do Rivers and I have a gig? If not, why does he have his kazoo on? I've got my guitar in my brand new Christmas gig bag. And the cajon, my Christmas cajon. So many Christmas things today. We are going over to visit our neighbor, Joel. He's got a Lagoon 420 hybrid. Came over and chit-chatted a little bit, and I think those boats are super cool. They were kind of ahead of their time, and the battery technology just wasn't up to snuff yet. So it's hard to find those still with the electric motors in them. Most people that have had them have switched over to diesels. His is still all electric, and he's got a ton of solar, and I just think it's cool. So we're kind of excited to see his boat. He's also a musician. He was a professional musician for quite a while. And so, yeah, taking the guitar and the cajon over and the kazoo, and we're just going to hang out, play a little bit of music. Lauren has her instruments ready.
Ready to go.
The instruments of drunkenness, instruments of destruction. Yeah, sorry. Lauren's got our drinks ready to go.
So this is 24 3.3 volt batteries, all working together to make a 72 volt system for the electric motor. These batteries are connected to each other via these little micro boards right there.
Yeah.
Those are cell modules. The cell module all talk to this thing over here, this little black box down there. That's the group module.
Okay.
And the group module is hooked up to this thing right here, which is the BMS. So it's a very complicated system compared to what the modern batteries are, because now you would get a couple of drop-ins that all have BMSs built in,
right,
and you'd let it go.
Okay. Unfortunately for us, Joel and Katie made their way down to the ABCs. But it sounds like we may cross paths again next season. They have a cool boat and they're even cooler people, so we can't wait for the next jam session. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, give us a like, and if you'd like to support our videos further, go check us out on Patreon. Until next week, cheers.